everyone, this is KRISTINE ZEDEK and I have with me Freyaz.
Hi.
Hi. So a little bit about Freyaz before we just get to this conversation is Freyaz owns her own NGO and she runs it. It's a beautiful foundation that she's running. I'll let her do the talking because I don't want to be saying something that I might make a mistake on. Apart from that, she's also adopted 8 children.
Do we have to say that?
Yes, I think
Why?
it's important because to have a heart like this is rare. What she's doing is making a huge difference in this world, and the impact she's making. And today I was blown by some statistics that she shared with us. Actually, this wasn't planned as an introduction, but it just
Seriously.
no, but it's just coming up
Let's
because
talk about the workshop.
yeah, we will, but it's important. Okay, so we all contributed 200 rupees and we were playing this activity where we all were giving money to make the whole activity more exciting. Towards the end of it, money was accumulated, and what all of that, I'm not talking about the activity right now, but the statistics she shared with us is 200 rupees can
provide pencils, eraser, sharpener, and a compass box for up to about 10 kids in each division of a municipal school.
wow.
Yeah.
Imagine 200 rupees, what it can do for a child's education. That's a lot. So guys, you have to reach out to her and get in touch with her. I will share a link or information about this, once this video is out. So get in touch with this foundation and contribute in whatever way you can, because you can make a difference with just 200 rupees and much more, in fact, if you contribute much more. So now I wanted to talk more about this in a bit, but we are here to actually discuss our learnings for today. I've already made a video about my learnings for today from the Business Accelerator Bootcamp with Mac Attram. We had a fantastic, phenomenal day of learning. This is just day 1. Freyaz, tell me, I want you to talk about your key learnings for today.
I had several key learnings.
Yeah.
First, starting from that string activity that we
Okay.
did, that talked about the multiple relationships we have in a business.
Yes.
So just because you have 6 people
Yeah.
in a business doesn't mean you're managing 6 relationships. You're managing many more than 6 relationships.
Right.
But-
No, I think this is team members versus relationships. So you may have 4 team members, but it could be 6 relationships.
Yes, like that.
Yeah.
So you're managing many more relationships than the team members that you
yes.
have. And doing that string activity where we were running around the room,
Yeah.
it taught me a lot about how you define what leadership is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be the person who's ahead, physically standing ahead, leading the team.
Yeah.
The leader's job is to look and manage the relationships and allow each one to have their core competency. That was the first learning of the day. And the last learning of the day, when we were doing that investment activity,
Yeah.
was that even for that, there has to be a system.
Yeah, that was surprising, right? Like,
Yeah.
we never thought that would be a key learning.
No.
In the investment game that I spoke about earlier, we thought it was a game of luck.
I did too, honestly.
But it was actually, he said there's strategy in everything. Whether we know it or not, there's strategy in every approach we take to life. And it was like mind-blowing. You said, what, really?
But what got me was that gentleman who was doing that formula of 10%, 10%, 10%.
In fact, I was doing that too.
Were you doing that?
Yes.
I was not doing that.
Only once I changed my number, which is why I didn't put my hand up. But otherwise, throughout, I was being consistent with my,
Wow.
yeah.
It didn't even occur to me to be consistent. It didn't occur to me to have a strategy. I was just like, all right, red ball, green ball. What do I want to,
Yeah.
I was completely caught up in the emotion of it.
Yeah.
And it taught me how important it is to have a system for everything.
For everything.
Everything. And of course, by far the greatest thing for me today was when the scorer went up and down.
Oh yeah, that game. Okay, so something, I'll just give you a slide. I don't want to get into the detail because if somebody's doing this boot camp, I don't want to take it away from them, take the essence of what they're going to learn. but we had a game where the team was doing brilliantly well. We were winning, and at some point there was a glitch, with a human glitch, where the person who was scoring us blundered big time. But we're not here to blame her, but we're here to talk about things like this happen, right? Where muck-ups happen like this, where she folded at some point. The team lost because of this mistake, and even that was a learning. Even that was it did affect us in a certain way, because we're like, hey, it was not our fault, but yet, like Mac rightly put, he said nothing will always go your way, right? That's life. Nothing will always go your way, and it's up to us how we deal with it and what we decide to do after that. What has happened has happened. So we were not, and it's also important, this is one learning. The other learning was, apart from this game, was it's important to take responsibility and stop being victim or a victim to things. Taking responsibility goes a long way. Like, just accept that you are responsible for anything and everything till where you've reached, right?
Yes.
And about victims, what was he saying? The victim mode?
Complaining, blaming, gossiping, discussing. I mean, these are all victim. You go into a
mentality,
victim mode. Or you can just take responsibility for what happened. And I think what I was trying to say to him is, listen, I know something's happening inside of me. I'm having a visceral reaction to this. Now I can't figure out the learning. Can you help me find the learning? And what I understood when he walked me through it, as when he walked the other gentleman through it, is every reaction we're having is a belief system we have inside. Somehow we've coded in this belief system from childhood, and if you can map the visceral reaction you're having to that belief system, you can release it. You can
that's profound.
I mean, that was what he did for me when he stood up and had that interaction with me, especially when he says, don't tell me you don't know. You know. Tell me you don't know.
This is something you need to realize, that we all have the answers within us. It's just that we're looking for answers everywhere else, or looking or blaming or finding excuses or reasons. But the fact of the matter is, we all have the answers within us. And what is more powerful, it's not just the teachings Mac is doing with us, or the strategies that he's teaching us for business, but the in-betweens. He's literally coaching us individually at different points of time. Every time we participate in an opinion or contributing to what we think, he picks on certain things and he starts to coach us, because he's able to see that, wait a minute, I need to know what is going on with you, about your attitude towards this. And suddenly we are like, huh? What? We don't even know what hit us. And he's able to take us into that spot of why we have that belief system like the way we do. And some way he's able to turn that around and make us look at it otherwise. And we're like, what? Is he a magician? Like, how did that happen?
But didn't you feel
there was so much more learning that way?
Didn't you feel that even the activities he did,
all
the activities were experientially teaching us something?
Of course. Like,
I don't even know where the day has gone.
Time flew, and we're still energized. We're not even tired. We've had a long day from 9 to...
She hasn't slept. She flew in. What time did you get here? 4 o'clock in the morning.
2:33.
And then you were down in the lobby.
I was waiting.
And then you didn't come upstairs till 6:30.
Because she was sleeping in the room and I didn't want to disturb her. So
6:30 a.m. or 7 a.m.
in the lobby
something
waiting.
Like that. And then she said she was going to sleep for an hour. She didn't.
I'm not slept.
She has not slept. And look at her energy. She has not slept. And listen, Mac is not paying us to say this.
Not at all.
He is not. This is just us. Because we are so excited about everything.
And we want to share
learned.
what we've learned, because it's so valuable and priceless. So
this is my third session with him. Is this your third session?
Yes, my third session with Mac.
Yes, I did MMI with him. I did GBI with him, and now we're doing this with him.
Yeah.
So we did these 3 sessions with him, and if you get a chance, don't pass it up. Don't pass it up.
So that's the thing. And another wonderful thing I learned was, when we played games. Do you want to get that?
Yeah, should I?
Okay, in our room, she ordered for an extra blanket. That guy's going on ringing the bell, so she has to go and get the blankie. Otherwise, it's not going to be non-stop. Okay, the blankets come. And you're back.
Blanket's here!
We need the blanket.
Hey, listen, sometimes you gotta keep it real, right?
Yeah. So, the doorbell, it's like guest appearance. Okay. So he always divides us, right? Whenever we play games, we have team 1 and team 2, right? Now there's a winning team, and what I loved about it is the opposite of winning team we would assume is losing team, but no. Here he talked about the winning team and the learning team. He's like, there are no losers, they're only learners. So every time we fail or don't win, it's not a loss. We're just learning. It's scope of learning. And I love that. And I think it's so important for the world to know this, because if something doesn't work our way, we take it to heart and we think, oh, we're failures or we're losers, and we feel, we look down on ourselves and we feel demotivated. But that is just that's an amazing step to learning. It's just making you learn from that. That, and another thing where he told Freyaz was, he says, when you get uncomfortable, right? This is your coaching he did for you. It's when you reach that point of discomfort, that's when self-development and learning begins. Correct?
Yes.
And that's what, you want to talk about that? What?
Yes, I mean, it was because I was upset about, quote unquote, the injustice, and I mean of the loss, right? And I say injustice,
loss in the team losing,
in the game. And I knew it was fundamentally not a big deal. It was a game, but it was there to teach us something, and because it provoked something within me, that's when he said
something triggered.
Yeah, the learning doesn't begin when you are successful. There's actually very little learning happening when you're successful. The learning is happening when you fail. The learning is
the discomfort.
The learning is happening when you're uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's when learning is beginning, and that's when growth is beginning. So if you're uncomfortable, that's great. You're growing.
Good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. That means the scope of learning and growing.
But you have to be open to wanting to learn and wanting to grow. If you're not a person who wants to learn and wants to grow, then coming to these types of workshops, trying to enhance your personality, this is not the right thing for you. But if you want to level up your life, then this is the right thing for you.
And I think everybody should want to level up their life. It doesn't matter where you are. There's always scope to learn. Like, first of all, you'll never know who you are, and you never know enough, right? And we should always be a blank slate, because that's what keeps it, like, it gives you, there's so many things we don't know. Right? We can't always assume we know too much. We know everything. We don't. And if you go out there, you meet amazing people, and we all need mentors in different aspects of our life to help us to level up to the next step, right? And it's just been amazing. You learn so much. I'm still learning new things, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know this. And I'm loving it. So and somewhere there's a shift in the way you look at life, and you don't even know it's happened at this point of time. It just happens, and suddenly you're looking at life in a different way. It's like, wow. Right? But okay.
It was a great day.
It was
a great day. And if you have a chance to get coached by Mac Attram, you should. Yes. You should take it.
He's come all the way from UK just to teach us, and I think we've been fortunate to learn from him. Really.
And FYI, We were on the learning team both times.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, just in case you wanted to know.
So we're on the path of growth. So you don't have to win all the
Maybe
time.
that's why we're so excited.